Hi, I'm Ralf Friedrichs. Welcome to Grand Central Station. The train to be here any minute, so if you're ready to get your life back on track, hop aboard. Let's go to www.clearviews.info, where I'll show you how a sober today can make a better tomorrow. If you're ready to get your life back on track, hop aboard the train coming in about 2 minutes. Thank you, and have a great day. www.clearviews.info. Good afternoon, my name is Ralf Friedrichs, and I want to welcome each and every one to Take Your Life Back. Today is Wednesday, the 13th of August, 2014. We have covered so many previous videos in reference to drugs, in reference to alcohol, in reference to addictions. We have covered approximately 30 videos, but today is one that really this video is a topic that really never gets addressed too much, except for possibly in the media and the news, and that topic is synthetic drugs. But before I go into that, I just want to bring to your attention the top 10 drugs, not synthetic drugs, just the top 10 drugs that are out there. Heroin, cocaine, meth, crack cocaine, LSD, ecstasy, opium, marijuana, mushrooms, and PCP. Folks, those are the top 10 forms of drugs that are out there. They are out in the streets. They're in possibly your home. They're in workplaces. They're everywhere. And those are the top reasons. Those top 10 drugs are the top reasons there is so much addiction in the drug world. Of course, it doesn't affect the alcohol addiction. However, most of the people that do one of those drugs, or all of them, are also doing alcohol. And an addiction is an addiction. And keep in mind, folks, alcohol is also an addiction. It's also a drug. That's why I always say alcohol and or drug addiction, because they go one hand in hand. So let's dive right into it, and we're going to talk today about synthetic drugs. Now, I did receive my information from the usual place that I get it from, and this was from the CDC. When I say the usual, because most of the time I do get it from the Mayo Clinic, but that's more for the medical aspect of it. These are the synthetic drugs that are out in the open, out in the street, out anywhere you want to look. You'll find regular drugs or synthetic. So let's go right into it. Synthetic drugs. What are synthetic drugs? And I'm going to read this to you. Synthetic drugs are chemically laced substances similar to marijuana, cocaine, and meth that are sold over the counter at some convenience stores, at your local 7-Elevens, your local gas station stores, gas stations, and tobacco shops. Now, how in the world, if we're covering this synthetic drug issue, how is it that we can sell it in 7-Elevens and convenience stores, gas stations, smoke shop? How is that possible? Well, we're going to find out. Cannabinoids. What is cannabinoid? Popularity known as K2 or spice. Cannabinoids are chemically formulated versions of synthetic marijuana that consist of lab-manufactured THC. You know, folks, when I was doing the studying on this, I was amazed of how people are consuming different chemicals and not even know what they're consuming. You understand? In other words, anything to get a high. They don't care what's in it. They don't realize the damage that's being caused. Let's continue. These words are hard to pronounce, so I'm going to give it my best shot. Cathinones. Often known as bath salts, cathinones contain chemical compounds that mimic the effect of cocaine and meth. Now, mind you, cocaine, meth, marijuana are pretty expensive, hard to come by. So these are what I like to call a substitute. They give you the high for a less expensive cost. But still, the question here as we proceed is, how legal are they to sell in those particular stores that we discussed, which is your local convenience stores, your 7-Elevens, your Hess gas stations, your tobacco shops? Why are they so dangerous? One reason that synthetic drugs are extremely dangerous is that the buyers don't know what chemicals they are ingesting. That's exactly what I just said. Individual products can contain a vast range of different chemical formulations and potencies, some of which can be 2 to 5 times stronger than THC. Why aren't these drugs illegal? That's the question that I asked when I first started studying it up on this topic, and we thought about it. When I say we, meaning myself in my head and speaking to a couple other people, thought about it, and why are they not illegal? Well, here's why. Although some states have implemented bans on formulas of synthetic marijuana and bath salts, drug makers can easily sidestep those regulations. Manufacturers adapt simply by replacing the chemical compound of a banned synthetic cannabinoid and cathinoid with a newer formulation that is yet known to authorities. So what they're doing, this substitute is now substituting another ingredient in this drug, and as long as it's not listed on the package, it's legal to put into the stores. And it's a shame that the manufacturers, and we spoke about this yesterday, how manufacturers, by bringing it out to the public by advertisement, commercials, make it in demand, make the individual, usually in this synthetic drug thing, it's more the younger people, make them want to get it and at a lesser price. This modification process poses increasing risk to its users, who are unaware of the reactions of the new chemicals and what they may cause. So when you're inhaling or you're smoking one of these synthetic drugs that we're going to go over, you don't know what's in there. All you know is that you're getting your high. But you know what? That high could be your last high, because you don't know what's going into your body. Can you imagine if you had to look at each and every ounce of ingredient? Would you then still do it? I don't think so. But see, the marketing is as such that they are camouflaging, they're concealing the ingredients as much as possible to make it appeasing to you for you to get it. Certainly the price is appeasing. Let's continue. Bath salts. Frequently asked questions on bath salts. I'm going to read the questions to you, and then we'll go over the answers together. Keep in mind, this came directly from the CDC. Bath salts are a designer drug that has recently become available. This is a powerful drug that causes severe side effects. Here's a question. How are bath salts packaged? How are they packaged? Bath salts are sold as crystalline powder in a small bag with the names such as, and here's all the names: Ivory Wave, Blow, Red Dove, Vanilla Sky, Aura, Zeus 2, Zoom, Bliss, Blue Silk, White Lightning, Ocean, Charge, White Dove. Did you notice the pattern with these names? Ivory Wave, Red Dove, White Dove, Ocean, White Lightning, Zoom, Bliss. Those names are appealing. Can you imagine if they would put names such as Danger, Will Kill You, Proceed with Caution, Anything to Alert You? Now, they make it so appealing to the eyes, and what appeals to the eyes usually appeals to the brain. Now, what appeals to the eyes also can appeal to your addiction, so be careful. Question 2. What are the signs and symptoms of bath salts use? Users frequently describe the high as horrible and report seeing demons, monsters, foreign soldiers, or aliens. Hallucinations. Some have symptoms for 2 to 3 days. So if you're going to take this on a Sunday, good luck trying to go to work Monday and Tuesday. Some require long-term psych care because their symptoms don't improve. Severe paranoia, violent behavior, hallucinations, chest pain. Now, the chest pain is something that you really need to worry about, because now it's affecting your engine. Your heart and your brain are the two major functional items that keep you going on a daily basis. Seizures, decreased need for sleep, lack of appetite, self-mutilation. You're going to start cutting yourself. Folks, listen to this again. Listen to the names that I'm giving you. And here's the question. What are bath salts? Listen to the names. These are crystalline powder forms in a little envelope, and they go by, or a bag, and they go by the names Ivory Wave, Below, red dove, vanilla, aura, Zeus 2, zoom, bliss, blue silk, white night, lightning, ocean, charge, and white dove. And there are others. I just don't have them written down because I can only fit so much. Those names are so appealing, and what's appealing to your eyes becomes appealing to the rest of you. Number 3, what are the signs and symptoms of bath salts use? Oh, I'm sorry. We just did that one, so let me backtrack. We just went over that, so we're going to go over it again. Severe paranoia, violent behavior, hallucinations, chest pain, seizures, decreased need for sleep, lack of appetite, and you're going to self-mutilate yourself. What are the long-term health problems as a result of use of bath salts? What are they? Kidney failure. Can you put up with that? Liver failure, increased risk of suicide, that goes with the hallucination. Long-term mental illness, self-mutilation, death. A lot of these symptoms also will cause you to go towards depression. Why did I just bring that up? Well, depression equals suicide in a lot of ways, and we just had recently a famous actor who has been battling addiction for 20 odd years and depression, and God rest his soul, but Robin Williams has taken his own life. Now, it's not to say he was on drugs, it's not to say he was addicted the addiction is always there. It's not to say he wasn't fighting his addiction anymore. What is to say is that the end result, which is the death of Robin Williams, is due to 20 years of fighting addiction and God knows how many years of depression. They go hand in hand, folks. Let's continue. What do bath salts contain? This product can contain one of many designer drugs. The most likely one currently used is MDPV, which is methprovolone, but it could also contain methadone and cadiravitiv. Those are tough words, but I hope you know, well, if you go on my video, but I'll try to pronounce them again. MDPV, meth, just regular meth, priovolerone, methadone, and cadiravitiv. Those are some tough words. I should have practiced them, but you get the meaning. Those are in there. That is what bath salts contain. And for anyone, if you're having a problem the way I pronounce those words, go to Google and just type up MDPV, and you'll get the proper print in front of you. And good luck trying to pronounce them. If you can pronounce them, good for you. I'm just having an issue. And it's hard enough to have to look to the right because it's mounted to the right of my camera. But anyway, let's continue. Deceptive packaging. Now that is going to be a topic, and here's a whole new category. Herbal incense, fake marijuana. Deceptive packaging. Because they are sold as incense, products like Spice, G4, K2, Mojo don't have to list all the ingredients, because ingredients aren't important if they're packaged as incense, because it's supposed to be freshening up the air. These ingredients that they don't list are potentially dangerous and mind-altering. They will play the games. You'll have a lot of those symptoms that we talked about. Paranoia, violent behavior, hallucinations. They will be with this too. Spice sold as herbal smoking mixture is clearly marked as not for human consumption. That makes it legal. That's why 7-Elevens and Hess and gas stations and smoke shops can sell it. It can contain untested chemicals with unknown toxic, addiction, potential, long-term effects, and allergic reaction. In other words, unknown danger. If you don't know about the dangers, because they don't post it, because they want to sell plenty of it, that's their marketing, how are you supposed to know? This is how you're supposed to know. Educate yourself. Continually educate yourself. Every 24 hours of your day of addiction is educating yourself. It's helping others. It's seek other people in sobriety. That is knowing how and where the dangers are. The users have no way of knowing which of the experimental chemicals they are taking. Each batch can be different. You have no clue. These herbal mixtures are not safer or less potent than marijuana. Users report greater satisfaction. Both marijuana and these synthetic chemicals are negativity effect. This is what's going to happen if you start using the synthetic herbal incense. Anxiety, nausea, paranoia. We always laugh about this, and my wife gets the biggest giggle out of this, because the paranoia, the hallucination, I choose to call it a conspiracy as we know it. Everybody's out to get you. Discomfort, confusion, desire for the feeling to end things. Is that what you want to do? Well, folks, if you're going to do both, you're going to mutilate yourself before you end yourself. So why not go ahead and do both items? Do your bath salts, do your herbal incense. If that's what you want to do, I feel bad for you. I'm here to educate you what to watch out for. I'm here to tell you the drugs that are out in the street are no good. The drugs that are in your store are no good. And as per yesterday's video, even prescription drugs that are prescribed by your doctor, and then you go shopping from doctor to doctor and go to see different pharmacies with the identical prescription from different doctors, that stuff will kill you. It will continuously feed to your addiction. Stop it. Let's continue. Both marijuana and these synthetic chemicals negatively affect also the discomfort, confusion, desire, the feeling to end your life. The reason I had to read that again is because it's so important. You want to let it get to the point where you just have a desire to end your life? The bottom line, the fact is that these herbal incenses and smoking mixtures are not herbal, not safe, in some cases, not legal. But they sure have plenty of legal ones out there, don't they? Legal does not mean good. Legal just means you're allowed to get it. Legal means that you can go into your 7-Elevens and your Hesses and your gas stations and your smoke shops and buy this and kill yourself legally, if that's what you want to do, and be addicted to it. I'm here to tell you today that you need to stop, cease. Forget the synthetic drugs. Forget the other drugs that we just spoke about. Forget them. The drugs such as heroin, cocaine. Forget heroin and cocaine. Crack cocaine, LSD, ecstasy, opium, marijuana, mushrooms, PCP. Forget them. Forget them. Forget the herbal incense. Forget the bath salts. Forget the prescription drugs. If you don't have pain, you don't need them, don't go doctor shopping. Don't go pharmacy shopping. I hope you folks got a basic idea what I'm talking about here when it comes to synthetic drugs. We're going to do a recap in a few minutes again. I just want to quickly speak about two people. I want to speak about Dr. Lou Gonzalez. He's over at startingpointmn.com. What he basically has is a service that does one of two things for you, or you can do two. You might be in recovery, you might need coaching in recovery, and you might want to become a coach. That's me. I am in recovery, and I am becoming an addiction recovery coach. So you can wear both hats. But if in case you don't want to do the latter of the two, if you're in recovery and you need some coaching, you get a hold of Dr. Lou Gonzalez, and he's over at startingpointmn.com. That's startingpointmn.com. And also for my dearest friend, Pam, and she's on Time to Heal on Facebook. She has a TV show, TV YouTube show, which runs my commercials. I believe if you get this video today, she will be on there tomorrow, and I urge everyone to see her. Her name is Pam Hemphill, and she is an inspiration to me. I utilize her for my daily recovery as much as I utilize Dr. Lou Gonzalez, and there are other situations arising in my life when it comes to my videos, when it comes to presenting what I have to say to everyone. There are new channelings, new doors opening, and stay tuned As I approach every single turn in my life, you will be there, hopefully. And if you're not there, I'll be here and I'll be testifying to you to let you know that my recovery is going as planned. Between myself and my higher power, God, who I make sure directs and guides me in the proper direction, we will win this war. And it is my job as a servant, as a messenger, to give you all the information that you need that'll make your addiction workable, that you can live with your addiction. It is up to me and millions of other people like Dr. Lou Gonzalez and Pam Hemphill. It's up to people like us to help people like you. And it's people like you to help people like us. Do you see it's a community. Let's get right back into the community issue. My website, www.clearviews.info, that's CLEARVIEWS.info. I want to stress, why did I name it Clear Views? Well, we know the second of the first word is views. That's to see. So what does the clear stand for? Here's what it stands for. C stands for community. L stands for lessons. E stands for empower. A stands for addiction. R stands for recovery. So it's community lessons that empower addiction recovery. It's community. You, me, Pam, Dr. Lou Gonzalez. It is all of us as a community. Our lessons, our past, our present, our lessons empower all of us with addiction recovery. I, believe it or not, I came up with that name, clearviews.info, within the first 2 months of my recovery. It just came into my head, and here I am. I strongly believe that we are a community. We are an addiction recovery community. But as a whole world, we are a community, and we need to reach out to each other to help each other. Even if it's not addiction related, we have to learn to help each other because we are one. And it doesn't matter what color you are, it doesn't matter what race you are, which are the same, it doesn't matter what nationality you are. We are human, created by God, as a community, need to come together, and our lessons learned, my lesson might be different than your lessons. Our community lessons learned empower us for addiction recovery. Let's get together as a community, a whole community. Let's do that today. We need to do that. I usually give out my shout outs, so I'm going to do it now real quick. I want to just shout out to a couple people. First, usually I start with my friend up north, but I need to shout out to two very important people, three actually. The first one is in my inspiration and my crutch in life. It's my wife, Casey. I just want to give a shout out. She gives me a lot of the ideas I come with. She gives me tough love when it comes to let me know if I misspoke or anything like that. And it's being told to me to improve my communication to you. So it's tough love, and I accept it with all my heart, and I appreciate it, and I want her to continue to be on my side and fight this war on addiction. She will always be on my side, I know that, and believe it or not, every time we finish a video, I feel confident enough to actually air it. However, I do sit down with my wife and we do review it, and graciously she lets me know when she feels that something needs to change. So yes, and one of those things was in the first couple of videos I was banging my lips together like, and it was annoying. If you folks have noticed, it's gotten better. I've improved. I educate myself with information, and also I strengthen my video camera skills and speaking skills, and most importantly my motivational skills. The second person I want to also thank is Pam Hemphill from Time to Heal. She's on Facebook and YouTube. She has she's the host, and she has the TV YouTube show. It's a talk show. She interviews guests that are either in addiction or work in the addiction industry or seeking different methods or discuss drugs, alcohol, whatever. That is her position. She's a host. Her and I 99% of the time speak during the day, at least once or twice. When I say speak, it's usually through texting or messaging. Because honestly, neither one of us have time to really sit on the phone, so we can kind of run and go, smartphone, tablet, whatever. So I want to thank you, Pam. Thank you for being on my side. Thank you for doing what you're doing. The other person is Dr. Lou Gonzalez from Starting Point, mn.com. That's StartingPointMN.com. His business is to coach people in recovery, and also on the other side of the business is to make new addiction recovery coaches. So I want to thank him. He's done a lot for me. I just want to shout out to him and give him the kudos. Each and every day is becoming a better day for me. I'm getting different people from different areas of the country reaching out to me, and they want to work with me to bring out the message of addiction. I don't want to mention a name yet because we really haven't gone too far to it yet, but there's one in Florida, and then there's one in California that reached out, and we're exchanging information and possibly maybe work together on bringing out the message and being soldiers of the war of addiction, because the more the merrier. It's a number game. If we come together in huge amount of numbers, as soldiers in addiction war, we will not only live with it, but possibly, just possibly one day, win the war. I know it's far-fetched because there's so many drugs out there, there's so many addicted people out there, but each and every time somebody helps fight the war, each and every time you feel like you're going somewhere, and if you do it 24 hours a day, don't do it on a long-term planning. Do it on a long term, but don't plan on it. Do it each and every day for 24 hours. And Pam, from Time to Heal, said it so understandably. When somebody wanted to give her a token for her 36 years of sobriety, she said, I want a token for 24 hours. Because that's what it's all about, folks. It's 24 hours at a time. You can't plan tomorrow. We can plan to pay our bills tomorrow. We can plan on cutting the grass next week. But you can't plan sobriety and the fight on addiction. You need to go from hour 1 to 24 and start again with hour 1 to 24, etc., etc. That's the way it is, and that's how you will succeed. That's how I succeed, amongst giving you the education, talking to you, going on my website. Oh, incidentally, we just talked about clear views. I just want to bring up one thing. Dr. Lou Gonzalez from StartingPointMN.com is now on my website. Scroll halfway down and you'll see his ad and his description, and you also see his website, so you can just press on it and bingo, you're over by his website. Now, on the other hand, I want to also let you know on my website, if you go, there's pages 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You'll go right after page 3, you'll see an icon. It says Time to Heal. Press on that. You'll go to all of Pam's videos that I was able to fit in a short period of time. I will continuously feed more videos in there and pictures directly from her site. That's all I do. I don't add any of my own things in there, nor do I add anything of my own to Dr. Lou Gonzalez, nor do I add anything for the Addiction Center in Florida. These are individual ads for yourself to utilize, because when I supply you the information from different sources, from different areas, it gives you the opportunity to shop for the right plan, the right method, the right people to contact. And this is done as a war on addiction to feed you whatever I can. So let's go recap on this, and then we're going to jump right into what we usually talk about. Today we spoke about synthetic drugs. What are synthetic drugs? Now I'm going to read it again because I don't have it memorized. Although if I read it maybe 4 or 5 more times, I might be able to memorize it. And I'm telling you this right now, I will not even try to pronounce those words again. I will just give you the initial, Google it, and go from there. Here we go. What is synthetic drugs? Synthetic drugs are chemically laced substances similar to marijuana, cocaine, and meth. They are sold over the counter at 7-Elevens, Hess, gas stations, tobacco shops. Legally. That's what it is. They are being sold legally. Something that can kill you is being sold legally. Right under your nose. Based on their chemical makeup, these drugs are commonly divided into two categories. Cannabinoids, popularly known as K2 and spice or spice. Cannabinoids are chemically formulated versions of synthetic marijuana that consist of lab-manufactured THC. The other one is cathinones, often known as bath salts. Cathinones contain chemical compounds that mimic the effect of cocaine or meth. It's hard for me to even read this. Though the drug's packaging states the products are not intended for human consumption, their design, labeling, and marketing clearly allude to the products being smoked or inhaled as a drug. So they're saying we don't recommend you consuming it, but they'll show a picture of somebody smoking some. They'll show a picture of somebody sniffing something. It's a marketing war. To fight the drug war, we not only have to fight the addiction, we have to fight the people that market the items. That's why we need people like you, whether you're sober, addicted, becoming sober. We need people like you to join people like me, to join people like Pam, to join people like Dr. Lou Gonzalez. Help me, help Pam Hemphill, help Dr. Gonzalez, help other people. Help the Addiction Center in Florida. Help us all. Let's all fight together. Come together as a community. Because our community lessons empower addiction recovery. Clearviews.info. Why are they so dangerous? One reason that synthetic drugs are extremely dangerous is that the buyers don't know what chemicals they are ingesting. Folks, can you imagine? I know my examples sometimes are kind of like out of here, but the only way I can explain what this particular sentence was saying is, you're making a soup, and you really don't care what you're throwing in there. You could put salt, pepper, chicken broth, some chicken, a shoe, some Drano, and then you're going to package it and sell it. But don't put on there what's in there, because when people hear that there's a shoe, Drano, whatever else you put in there, if you put that on the packaging, you think people are going to buy it? Well, that's my point, people. If they put on the packaging what the potential hurt can do to you and what's exactly in there, you're not going to buy it. And if you do, then you're crazy. So the marketing it camouflages and helps you purchase this by not telling you what's in it. Individual products can contain a vast range of different chemical formulations and potencies, some of which can be 2 to 500 times stronger than THC. So this nice chicken soup that I just made, once I threw that Drano in there, and you don't know about it because I didn't put it in the ingredient, why don't I put a little bleach in there? Yeah, you'll get high, all right, and you think you're having chicken soup, because I didn't have to put what I put. I don't have to label, package it, what I put into there. So that chicken soup has the chicken, the broth, salt and pepper, some vegetables, a shoe, Drano, and bleach. You'll get high. Shame on me, and shame on these marketers for not having, and shame on who's in charge of the FDA, the regulations for this. Every product should have a warning label, should have its total ingredients labeled. Total. Not just what is legal, everything. These convenience stores, smoke shops, gas stations are drug pushers, not the owners, but because they're selling it, they're doing exactly what drug pushers are doing. They're selling drugs legally, because the federal government allows it to happen. The FDA, we need to cut down, we need to put our heads together, and we need to describe what's on there. Why aren't these drugs illegal? Although some states have implemented bans on certain formulas of synthetic marijuana and bath salts, drug makers can easily sidestep the regulations. Manufacturers adapt simply by replacing the chemical compound of the banned synthetic cannabinoid and cathinone with a newer formulation that is not yet known to authorities. So If you don't know about it, FDA, if you don't know about it, it's okay. Let them just put it in there. Hey, FDA, newsflash. How about educating yourself as quickly as these drug manufacturers can do it? Educate yourself so you know exactly what they're putting in there. And you can identify it. And you can put your big, strong governmental arm down on these people. For the sake of all Americans. For the sake of our children. Let me continue. This modification process poses increasing risk to its users, who are unaware of reactions of the new chemicals may cause. If you don't know if you're allergic to something and you're taking it, you're in deep, deep trouble. Folks, don't buy it. Let's all ban it. The manufacturers will stop doing it when you don't buy it, but as long as you keep buying it, you're feeding into their production line. Bath salts. Frequently asked questions. How are bath salts packaged? Wait till you hear these names, folks. Here we go. Bath salts are sold as crystalline powder in a small bag with names such as Ivory Wave, Blow, Red Dove, Vanilla Sky, Aura, Zeus, Zeus 2, Zoom, Bliss, Blue Silk, White Lightning, Ocean, Charge, White Dove, and others. Wow, they sound nice, those names. Some of them sound like they should be soap products or air fresheners, but they're not. I shouldn't even laugh, they're not. They're bath salts. What are the signs of symptoms of bath salts use? Here we go. Brace yourself. Severe paranoia, violent behavior, hallucinations, chest pain. You know, if you're having chest pain, it's your heart. The heart's in the chest. The chemicals that are not labeled because the federal government doesn't know about it might be killing your heart. Seizures, decreased need for sleep, lack of appetite, self-mutilation. You're going to cut yourself? Folks, there are the long-term health problems that result of the use of bath salts. What are they? Kidney failure, liver failure, increased risk of suicide, long-term mental illness, self-mutilation, death. Folks, we see it every day. We saw it recently. I just brought it up. Rest in peace, Robin Williams, a man that was battling addiction for 20-odd years, battling depression. And you see some of the signs that I just told you. Increased risk of suicide, folks. Self-mutilation. I believe they said there was a cut or two on his wrist. It's sad. And you know when it really brings out to everybody's attention, and unfortunately, is when a celebrity dies. When this happens to a celebrity. But folks, it happens every day by the thousands worldwide, by the thousands here in this country. But it takes a celebrity's death to make awareness, refresh the awareness again. We should be battling like this every day. I battle weekly with my videotapes that I'm going to air shortly. At least today's. The other ones are all aired, all 30. Weekly. It all started with one a week. But I feel that my passion for this, to fight for you and for me, requires me to do a little bit more. Now next week's going to be a little slower because I have company coming, but the fight does continue. For that week, although I might only do 2 or 3, I won't stop writing, I won't stop studying. And the minute my company leaves, it's onward marching soldier for me. I will continue to fight for you and me. Let's go right to the next one. Herbal incense. Here we go with that big word coming up, or words. Deceptive packaging. Because they are sold as incense, products like Spice, G4, K2, and Mojo don't have to list all their ingredients. The ingredients that they don't list are potentially dangerous and mind-altering. Things as Spice, sold as herbal smoking mixture, is clearly marked as not for human consumption. So why in the world would you smoke it? Because your addiction is stronger than here. I keep telling everybody, if you believe it here, you can achieve it there. Believe here you can be sober and fight addiction. Achieve there, wherever you are. But it all starts with 2 things. Admit you have a problem, and then work with your problem and educate yourself. Fight addiction. It can contain untested chemicals with unknown addiction potential, long-term effects, and allergic reaction. In other words, unknown danger is exactly what it is. It's unknown danger. They know what the dangers are, but they're smart enough not to put on the package because they want to sell it to you, and we're dumb enough to buy it, and we're dumb enough to put it into ourselves. But let me rephrase that. I'm not dumb enough to do it. Are you? The users have no way of knowing which experimental chemical they are talking about. Each batch can be different. These herbal mixtures are not safer or less potent than marijuana. Users report greater, both marijuana and synthetic chemicals, negativity effect. Greater effects than marijuana. Greater and less expensive. Both marijuana and these synthetic chemicals are negatively affected in these ways: anxiety, nausea, paranoia, discomfort, confusion, desire to feel the end. Sad, right? Paranoia, conspiracies. Everybody's out to get you. The bottom line is, the fact is that these herbal incenses and smoking mixtures are not herbal. You hear me? They're not herbal, not safe, and in some cases not legal. But the ones that are legal are the dangerous ones also. Just because they're legal doesn't mean they're safe. Just because they're legal doesn't mean they're good for you. Because they are legal, they can kill you. For more information, call this number. Call Addiction Program number 301-759-5050. 301-759-5050. You're calling the Health Department Addiction Program at 301-759-5050. I wish they had a 1-800 number for the folks that can make the long distance phone call. I promise I will research that on my next video and try to get a 1-800 number. That's I should have had that available, but anyway, 301-759-5050. Call them, talk to them about anything I discussed. Okay. Before we dive into what we usually talk about, I'm going to get my list out one more time. I want to bring up the 10 most popular dangerous drugs that you can find in the streets. Heroin, cocaine, meth, crack cocaine, LSD, ecstasy, opium, marijuana, mushrooms, PCP. Look at the list. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it? Those are out in the street. Terrible. So, you want to achieve sobriety. You want to know what methods are available on fighting your addiction. There are 3 methods that I continuously talk about, and we're going to discuss those 3. For the person that seriously has issues on being alone at home, like I used to be, but not with drugs, just with alcohol, being home alone and need supervision, somebody to tell you and watch you so you don't consume any alcohol or smoke or do crack or whatever, for that particular person, I recommend a treatment center, a 30, 60, or 90-day treatment center. If you go to my website, www.clearviews.info, go to page 7, I have every state listed. In every state, if you click on whatever state you might be in, you'll find a area near you, hopefully. And if you don't, just go to Google and type in treatment center and wherever your area is, and you'll find it that way. So if you have no willpower and you need supervision and you really think that maybe a 30, 60, 90-day program is sufficient for you, if not longer, is go to the treatment center. And then you have AA, been around since 1936, helped millions of people, very structured, textbook type of steps to go by. If it works for you, that's great. For me, I felt I needed to be more active. So there are 12 steps. I came up with 16 alternative steps. We will talk about those steps one day again. I try to make every video different from the last one. But if you go to my website at www.clearviews.info, you'll see all 30 videos. They're all there. All you need to do is Scroll down if you want to see them individually, but if you want to watch all 30, all you have to do is hit any one of my videos. They'll start with the first one and go all the way through, but you're going to be there. If it's all 30 you want to see in one shot, you have to give yourself at least, I would say, about 20 hours. An average video right now is about 45 minutes to an hour. And that's been like that the last 10, and then of course you have the ones before, which are about a half an hour. So if you're going to do all at once, give yourself plenty of time. Break out the popcorn. Get yourself an iced tea. Stay away from the drugs. Stay away from the alcohol. If you're going to watch my videos, my only demand from you are two things. Pay attention and avoid substance abuse. I want you to avoid that forever, especially during my videos, because I am here to help you. So I need you to have a clear mind as much as I want you to help me. So you have the three methods. You have my methods, which are 16 alternative steps, my website. My phone number is 631-599-0218. My email address is ralf.friedrichs@yahoo.com. That's ralf.friedrichs@yahoo.com. You can also call me at 844-393-9355. And you can go on Facebook, which also has clearviews.info. Now, anything that gets posted onto my Facebook, clearviews.info, gets automatically transferred to my website, clearviews.info. Folks, I just raised my hand and I noticed something. I noticed my bracelet that I'm wearing, and this bracelet resembles or symbolizes sobriety, my sobriety. It was given to me by a dear friend from high school. During my first month of sobriety, he had sent it to me. He saw me on Facebook, and I've never taken it off. If I did, maybe once or twice for a few minutes or whatever, but the reason I bring that up is because whatever your situation is, have a symbol to remind you. A picture of your wife, your children. Put it somewhere. So every time you look, you remember, why are you sober? That's what you're fighting for. Why is this important for me? This is, I'll try to let you see it, but there's a number 24 on it, and what it says is the Heron Project. And what that is a basketball player. His last name was Heron. And he's still alive, of course. I shouldn't say what was, but he was very much addicted. It still is, but he learned to fight it like I do. And so this is a symbol of that, because I've always considered myself to be very active in athletic areas. And when this was given to me, it kind of hit home, because it goes to show you, no matter how athletic you are, no matter who you are, the addiction can hit anywhere, anytime, anyhow. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't. You might think that you can avoid it, but you can't. The only way to avoid it is to fight it and educate yourself. All three methods have one goal in hand, and one goal only, and that is to reach sobriety and educate yourself on how to live with addiction. Now, all three methods will work 150% better with your higher power, in my case, my God. You need to reach out to God. You need to ask Him for guidance. You need to ask Him for direction. And you need to also show God how what God created when you were born has changed to what you are today. Show God this. Although He sees you every day, but show God. Tell God, I am an alcoholic, I have addictions, or whatever else that you might have, and say, God, take me back to my infant stage where I was created as a perfect human. Take me back to that. Guide and direct me. We've all learned. So God, take me back. Guide, direct me for a better future. And with your higher power, with your will to fight addiction, and with the education that people give you like I give you, you'll have a much better life. I promise you, I guarantee you that. Folks, I tell you, my life gets better each and every day. Sure, my memories are still there of what I used to be, but I tell you all the time, you cannot worry about yesterday. You can learn from yesterday. You can utilize your past mistakes in today, 24 hours, and then tomorrow the next 24 hours. Yesterday is gone. Learn from the past and move on. Now, I just want to give, I already gave the shout out to my professional friends, also personal friends also, but in a profession sense. So this is actually now for a personal friend, and he's up north. He this weekend will be 1 month and a week of sobriety. Whether or not a person has relapse or not, if they get up, dust their knees, move forward, take self-inventory, and continue, you can do it. That I promise you. But don't ever go back to the old abuse. You do that, and you're going to fall into the old routine. If you stumble on the path of sobriety, if you trip over that rock on the path of sobriety, you get up, you dust your knees, you pull yourself up, take self-inventory, move on. And then you start all over again. There is nothing wrong with that. I did it 6, 7 times until I finally hit rock bottom. That's when I finally said, I can't do this anymore. And folks, I'll tell you right now, when you get to that point, if you're not there already, you'll see nothing but blessings coming your way. Maybe not in sense of money, maybe not in sense of housing and cars, but blessings by helping others, by helping yourself, and also by changes around you. People notice that you're getting better, and people come around you a lot more. The people that you used to blow off because you were a closet smoker, a closet drinker, now that you're out in the open and people see the changes in you, they're coming around and they want to be with you and they want to be around you, and you welcome them, all arms open. But don't bring up the past. That's one of the steps that I don't like too much about AA. Again, everybody has whatever method they want to utilize to seek sobriety and educate and fight addiction. You do that, but I just have a problem with going back to any person in my life that I might have hurt. Now, it works for AA, it works for the people in AA, so I'm not knocking, I'm just telling you how I feel about it. I don't want to do that. If I had to do that, it would only be to my immediate wife, or my wife I should say, I meant to say immediate family. But just because I threw a snowball and broke a window back in 1971, I'm not going to look for this person. Or if I stole something out of Modell's in 1967 or 68, I'm not going to look for Modell's and tell them I stole their Halloween mask. Absolutely not. It is between me and my God to forgive me for any sins that I might have committed, when continuously can. Because we're only human. You will commit sins of any sort. It could be the simplest sins. A simple white lie. But folks, that is one of the things. Don't look from the past anymore. Move forward. Get back on track. You'll see that on my commercial. Get back on track. The train's pulling out. The train for addiction recovery. Jump on. Let's go. Okay, so we spoke about all that. I gave my shout outs. My friend up north, good luck. Keep going. We'll communicate. My friends down in Texas, Virginia, North Carolina, Florida, and New Hampshire. Also, did I miss anybody? Did I say North Carolina? Anyway, folks, we need to button up our boots, or what's the saying that this particular person on Facebook, Rick Ellis, who lost his daughter and his, I believe, ex-wife from a drunk driver, lace up the boots. We need to lace up our boots, folks, down in those states I just mentioned. You need to lace them up, and we need to move on. We need to continue our fight in addiction. We need to communicate via text, via phone, via whatever. Communicate with me. Let me know you're doing okay. As many times as you haven't responded to me, I've continuously sent you my videos, because it is my hope and my desire to continuously do that to help you. Now, when you don't want that help, it's a simple text, simple phone call. Just let me know. I won't be happy, but I also will not force anyone to listen to my videos or to listen to or read my articles on my webpage. I won't do that. I want you to want me. Who's saying that? Cheap Trick. I want you to want me. If you don't want me, if you don't want my educational help when it comes to addiction, just let me know and we move on. And then when you are ready, I'm right here waiting for you. My door is always open. My train pulls into the train station Grand Central every single day. And if you want to get back on track, seek sobriety, the train of addiction leaves, get on, and we'll fight together. We'll get you back on track. Folks, let me recap this real quick, and then we're going to cut this short for today. Synthetic drugs, we spoke about that. We're going to do this very quickly. I'm at 55 minutes again. Synthetic drugs are very, very dangerous. Why are they dangerous? They're dangerous. One reason synthetic drugs are extremely dangerous is that the buyers don't know what chemicals they are ingesting. That's the biggest danger. You don't know what you're smoking or snorting. Just like my chicken soup. If I don't put it on my can when I sell it to you, you don't know that I threw a shoe in there. I threw chicken. I threw salt, pepper, vegetables, a shoe, bleach, and some Drano. You don't know that. You're getting high. But can you imagine if I told you I put bleach and Drano and a shoe in there? What goes with this? Can you imagine if they told you the stuff that they put in there to get you high? Would you still be high? And if you are still going to continuously do that, knowingly that the chemicals they put in there are no good for you, then you have bigger problems than I thought you did have. Any person that purposely takes and consumes anything that has a major chemical that will possibly kill you, give you kidney failure, give you liver failure, possibly make you commit suicide, then you're absolutely, you need to check into a treatment center. You need to do that as soon as, right now. Don't even finish this video if that's what you want to do. If you truly don't care what goes into your body, you need a treatment center. Let's get back. Questions asked, what is bath salt? Bath salts are Ivory Wave, Blow, Red Dove, Vanilla Sky, Aura, Zeus 1, Zeus 2, Zoom, Bliss, Blue Silk, White Lightning, Ocean Charge, and White Dove. Wow. Fancy names, right? Fancy names don't mean good. That's a camouflage. That's all it is. It's a camouflage. And then when you go in and you open one of those little bags of white powder, what you're going to get is stuff that's not listed, so they can avoid the FDA. Because if the FDA knew what was in there and they can identify what was in there, it wouldn't be allowed to be sold in 7-Elevens, in gas stations, in smoke shops. The FDA needs to educate themselves a little better. What they need to do maybe is hire a couple of these people that are manufacturing this and put them on their payroll, because they know what the ingredients are, so they can identify it. Our huge tax dollars need to be utilized more on our problem in this country with drugs and alcohol. I'm not saying that we should avoid helping other countries, but we need to look out for ourselves a lot more. So instead of giving $200 billion to the Middle East, how about taking $10 billion of that and putting it towards drug and alcohol addiction here? Give the FDA more money to hire people that know what's in this product, in this synthetic drugs, so we can fight the war and we can win it. And I guarantee you, no matter what, it might be longer without the help of other people, but either way, we're going to win this war on addiction. It's just a matter of when, and a matter of how many people that we can get to help. It's people like you, people like me, Dr. Gonzalez and Pam, and people all around. It's all of us together, coming together as a community. Let's get back here. What are the signs of bath salt use? Severe paranoia, violent behavior, hallucinations, chest pain, seizures, decreased need for sleep, lack of appetite, self-mutilation. Are the long-term health problems that result from bath salt? What are they? Kidney failure, liver failure, long-term mental illness, increased risk of suicide, again, self-mutilation. Folks, we could go on and on. Herbal essence, you're smoking stuff. that clearly say in the package, not for human consumption. So why are you smoking it? Oh, so you think by smoking you're not consuming? You are. It's still going into your system, going into your body. Okay, enough with that. I really need to cut this now. I just want to say this to everybody. This was another emotional video. As usual, I thank everyone for paying attention so closely. 631-599-0218 is my phone number. At the website www.clearviews.info. Please get in touch with me. Have a pleasant day. Have a beautiful sunny day. Even if it's raining outside, let it be sunny in your living room. Let it be sunny in your kitchen. A sober today makes for a better tomorrow. And if you believe it here in your mind, you can achieve it there, wherever you are. Have a pleasant day. More importantly, have a sober day, and God bless you.